guys, it's Caitlin B and welcome back to Cozy Sunday. If you're new to my channel, I just want to say hello and welcome, and you guys are probably coming to this video because of the title, and yes, that is all I'm going to be talking about in this video. But if you're new, you may not know, every Sunday I do a Cozy Sunday video, which I just chit chat. It's super casual like this. I'm usually in my sweats, and we're just gonna be talking about like whatever. Except for today, I have just one topic to talk about because it was so highly requested from my last Cozy Sunday video, when at the end I mentioned I could talk about like my infidelity experience and all of that, which I've never touched on my channel before because I try to keep my personal life separate a bit. Even if you guys haven't experienced infidelity issues ever, this still has a really good message to it that you can apply to other things. I'm really glad it happened to me. Looking back, like, it's helped me grow so much as a person. And you guys, I actually found the text messages from when this all went down. I still have text messages from 2012 and 2013. Oh my god, I need to delete this off my phone. And I wonder why I don't have any storage. Beyond me. And make sure you watch till the end because I will be announcing my beauty of the week. So I don't want to get too much into the nitty-gritty details of our relationship. That would just be way too long, and that's not really what the story is about, but I am going to give you guys a very brief rundown of our relationship so you guys know, and then most of the story is going to be about the ending of our relationship and the follow-up, which is like honestly insane. So this guy that I was dating, I started dating in high school, and it was funny because we actually went to elementary school, middle, and high school together, but I had not talked to him at all in elementary or middle school. Like, I knew who he was because he was neighbors with one of my really good friends. We went to a really big school, so that's not uncommon to like not know. Like, I didn't know like half the people in my graduating class of like 1,000 people. But he was actually a freshman when I was a sophomore when we started dating, and it was so random. Every time I got into a relationship, I was kind of a serial dater, I will admit. I would know guys for like a week or 2 weeks and then not even hang out, and then if they asked me to be their girlfriend, I was like, yeah, absolutely. I think we started talking because I was walking around after school with one of my friends before we were leaving. He was sitting on the floor of the hallway of the school, just like talking to people after school. And he must have seen me walk by and liked what he saw, so he slid in my Facebook messages. And I can't really pull up the messages because I deleted him off Facebook after all this stuff happened. He was just like very into me very quickly, and just from like seeing me walk by. So yeah, we started dating after about like a week or two, and it was one of those relationships where there was a lot of red flags, honestly. I remember on homecoming was the first night we were supposed to like meet up, because we didn't really talk that much like during school because like we have different floors for different grades and different schedules and everything. But I remember we were like gonna meet up at homecoming and hang out for like the first time. And then I remember I didn't really see him because he ended up getting like suspended that night. I don't know, the relationship was kind of one of those that are like too good to be true, even though it wasn't like too good to be true, but it like, we didn't fight at all, which is a huge red flag. Like, you should be like healthily fighting, I think, or like having constructive arguments with your partner, but like we would like not fight at all because we never got to those deep conversations. It's just very surfacey of relationship, and I feel like that's like very common for high school relationships to not really get that deep. And but this was the most deep relationship that I'd ever had. My previous relationships were like a year or two long each, but I mean, that I was so young at the time, so it's like it didn't really like get that deep, you know what I'm saying, like our conversations. I remember trying to like get to that level like with him and stuff, but he would just kind of like mock me, or like whenever I was like saying stuff, or just like put me down, or like want to shift conversations to something more lighthearted, because he was very like funny person. He was very sociable, outgoing person. I think that's what I really liked about him, is because I'm kind of an introvert. For him, like, he could just go up to a crowd of people and just like make everyone laugh, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's one of those people. I don't know, I really liked that about him. But there were definitely things that bothered me about him, but I would just always push it to the side because I hate conflict, and at the time I just like didn't want to address anything that ever came up in my head that could possibly be like a red flag or I didn't really like. So I definitely thought, at least, that I loved him at the time, so I just like didn't want to create unnecessary conflict if I didn't have to. We would always hang out during locker breaks. Like, we spent all the time like during school that we could, like hanging out with each other and like seeing each other. So there was really no inclination to me that anything could have been going wrong. It's weird because I still to this day don't exactly know when it started or like how he did this. I think what really like set it off for like him to probably like want to cheat on me, I guess, was that I was not really a party person in high school. Like, I'd never been into partying, and I didn't even have my first sip of alcohol until I was like a senior in high school, and that was on spring break at a place that it was legal to drink. It was just never something that interested me, and to be honest, I was pretty judgmental of a person back then when it came to drinking and drugs. I just judged people like way too hard for doing that. I didn't understand how people could like disrespect their parents and stuff like that. Like, I'm a grandma, I know. So I think that was just where we really differed, because he was into that scene and like partying and going out, and I just really wasn't into that. So there would be nights that I would just like want to hang out at home, like by myself or with my other friends on a Friday night, and he would definitely go to party. I even remember specifically there was a homecoming or like a formal that we went to, and there's always so many after parties in high school like you can go to. I was going to a different one, and he really wanted to go to this other one, and he didn't want to come to the one with me, so I just let him because I could be with my friends, because a lot of my friends weren't dating anyone, so they just kind of like went alone. And I've just always been a really trusting person up until that point, and I just like didn't see any reason to not let my boyfriend go do his own thing if he wanted to do it. Like, I wasn't like an overprotective girlfriend, and I 100% trusted him at the time. I did stop by at that after party though, and I remember he was drinking, and like everyone was kind of drinking, and I was like, this is not my scene, like I'm gonna go. So I left. 2 or 3 years later, I guess he did cheat on me that night with a different girl, like that was in my grade or something, so that's cool. So let's fast forward about like 2 weeks before I was going to college. Like I said, I was 1 grade older than he was, so he was going to be a senior and I was going to be a freshman in college. We had been dating for 3 years. Even though I was going to college out of state, I had no desire to break up with him. And obviously I did consider going to college in Minnesota so that I could easily like see him at least on the weekends and be close to my family and stuff. But a huge part of me really wanted to explore and get away, and I ultimately went with my gut. Thank God I did. So once we had that conversation, it was a couple weeks before I was leaving to college, and I remember it being really hard because he mentioned like I should, you know, kind of spread my wings and experience college fully, and he doesn't want to hold me back. And I remember like crying and crying because I was like, I don't want to do that. Then about a week before I was going to college, I remember getting a call from my best friend. The tone of her voice was so awful. She was bawling and she was basically trying to hold it together. I could tell on the phone. She's like, I need to come over right now. I need to talk to you. As soon as I hung up, my heart sank. And I knew at that moment, it's so weird how your instinct works. I just knew he had cheated on me, and I had no reason to think that. I remember the second she came into my door, I said, he cheated on me, didn't he? And she goes, yep. Basically, like, she found out about it through someone else, that he had cheated on me with this younger girl who was like a sophomore or freshman, and I was like a senior, so I was like, what the hell? So anyway, I called him up. I went over there and I had like a 4-hour breakup. It was the longest thing ever. It started off basically he was denying it and like, this is totally wrong, like he would never do that to me. And then after about like an hour into it, he finally admitted, okay, I was drunk and I got a call the next morning that I did this from my friend, and I just couldn't believe them. Like, I didn't know that I would be capable of doing that to you. Then he got super angry at himself and super sad, and we like drove around. Basically, we ended on a good note. I was like, okay, like he feels bad, like he did it, he wouldn't have done that sober. It was just a one-time thing, whatever. It wasn't until like months after that, like I was in college, and then I found out that it was like definitely had happened more than just once, and it wasn't like just a one-time thing, whatever. But I didn't care because I was having the time of my life. Like, if I could choose when I found out that I got cheated on, like it would definitely be exactly when I found out that I got cheated on, because I was going off to college in a new state, joined a sorority, met all these new boys, all these new friends. It was amazing. And I actually met Becker like the second month of college. But my ex would still text me that he loved me and he wanted to see me whenever I came home. Without getting into too much detail or anything, it just kind of like spiraled into a dark place. And I ended up kind of feeling guilty for making him spiral into this dark place that I'd never seen him before, because he was always such like a happy kid, super likable. And I felt like after our breakup, like it kind of, he just lost himself completely and just like became a different person. We kind of remained in contact for a little bit. Like, he visited me in college actually that October, but then afterward we stopped talking as much. It wasn't until that February I logged on to Facebook. I remember like laying on the floor of my dorm room, and I just like, my jaw dropped because I saw that he gotten in a relationship with the girl that he cheated on me with, but like young girl. So I was like, oh hell no. Like, it definitely hurt, and I had gotten over him, but you know, it was a 3-year relationship, and like with the girl that he cheated on me with, like he's FBO, and so it's like everyone knows. Like, oh my gosh, I was just kind of took a dagger, you know? I texted him and I was just like, hey, like I just saw you in your relationship. I just want to say I kind of wish that you had like told me about it before like going public with this, but regardless, I hope you guys are happy together and I wish you guys well. And I think he responded and he was like happy and he's just like, thank you so much, like I really appreciate that. And that was pretty much it. We didn't really have any other conversation, no communication up until 2013. In the fall is when I got another text message. I remember he started texting me at like the end of September of 2013 or so, or like very early October. Okay, this is very weird, but I'm just gonna like go along with it. I'll just like be nice back. And I quickly started realizing that he was kind of being flirtatious. And I didn't know like what the intentions of this were at all, and I was very, very caught off guard because we hadn't talked in so long. We had talked a couple of times, right? And this was like early October, and his birthday fell in like the second week of October. We were just like communicating like days before, and so when his birthday came around, I felt like I should say happy birthday because I felt like that was kind of rude of me not to. So I said, hey, I know it's your birthday, just like want to say happy birthday. It was literally that short and simple, you guys. Like that's all that I said. I wish I still had these text messages because oh my god, they were gold. I'm pretty sure I probably deleted them like quickly after that happened. And I remember getting this long text message, and I can't remember if it was from his phone or if it was from her phone. I think it was from her, like the girl that he cheated on me with. And then I remember getting a text message from him at the same time, and he just said, thanks for ruining my life. That's what he said to me. My stomach was just like dropped because I hate that feeling of like knowing there's conflict. I finally read it and it was basically the meanest thing that anyone has ever said to me, and it was completely uncalled for. Like I still to this day like don't understand why like someone could say these things to someone. Went off on me saying that I still had feelings for him. Mind you, we broke up over a year ago. I was in college and thriving. She said I needed to back away from him and that he was hers. And then she started getting into all of the nitty-gritty details of all the times that he cheated on me, all the people he cheated on me with, why he did it, like why I suck pretty much. Oh my gosh, it was just gross. I had worked so hard to get to a good point. Ever since then, I've had really, really awful trust issues. You know, I'd like forgiven him and I just like moved on and just like at a better place in my life. And for her to bring all this back and like give me new information that I had no idea about, and it just made me so angry. And I knew that's what she wanted, was to like get like a reaction out of me instead of giving her that reaction that I so badly wanted to give. Because you know, there's so many things that run through your mind at the time when someone says something like so many jabs at you and are so uncalled for. Like, what did I do, first of all, to deserve all of that hate? Like I did absolutely nothing to this except for wish him a happy birthday. So sue me. She went off on me and I ruined his life and said never to speak to him again. So I said, okay, I will never speak to you again. And I, to this day, haven't spoken to him since then. I remember not responding to some of the text messages because she sent me like novel after novel of text messages. But I know at one point I just said like, this is pretty uncalled for. This is uncool. I just wished him happy birthday. That's it. Like, move on. I've moved on. But like inside I was like raging. I was like, why would she say this to me? This is so mean. Like I just could not understand how you could do that to someone. For the next couple of nights, thinking of all these things I really wanted to say to her and just like text her, like just bitching her out, you know what I mean? Like there were so many mean things that I could say, and they always come to you after like you have an argument, like you just think of something super witty or snarky to say and you're like, oh, I wish I said that in the moment. When someone jabs you, it's so hard to just let it go and like make them seem like everything's cool. But that's what I did. I just made it seem like I was cool and that she couldn't affect me. And that was honestly the best thing that I did, because getting to the point of the story, I actually got a heartfelt apology from her, not from him, but from the girl that he cheated on me with. I got an apology. And I actually have those text messages still. I don't know how, but they're coming in clutch for this video. I don't know if you guys can see this, but like there are novels back and forth to each other. I'm gonna read you like the first couple, and then I'm just going to paraphrase like a couple of key points. What she said to me, and this was 3 days after the lash out on me. I just gotten out of the shower at my sorority house, and I saw this text message and I was like, what the fuck? I understand you may have blocked me or something, but I'm not necessarily looking for a response. Just saying that the other day was uncalled for and that's not who I am, so I really do apologize. Relationships are hard and sometimes bring out the worst in people, and it definitely did to me the other day. I don't expect you to be like, oh yeah, I forgive you, and it's totally cool, because it's really not, and I'm sorry. I know he won't apologize because he's stubborn and that's his problem. I don't mean to be a psycho bitch and take things as far as they went. The period moods will get you, you know, haha, but that's no excuse for what was said. Sorry about all that. So about 3 hours later, I responded to her with like this novel. So I'm gonna read it to you pretty much in its entirety. I appreciate the apology. I don't owe you a response, but I do have some things to say. I don't know if it's a misunderstanding or what, but I absolutely have no feelings for him, and I haven't since I broke up with him over a year ago. I broke up with him the day I found out about the cheating from my best friend, and though it was the hardest thing I had to do, it did not surprise me. It sucks that it took that long of infidelity to go on, and I'm the kind of person who would much have rather been told the truth and broken up with than had to found out the way I did, and he still denied. Since then, I've been so much happier between being single and liking a guy. But every so often he will text me, and he did a lot, especially when I left for college, and I would be nice. I've always been nice to him, and even you, despite what you guys did to me being kind of unforgivable and against being a decent human being, especially never getting an apology about it from you. It's unfortunate to see this other side of him, and I think it's never okay to say those things to anyone. And quite frankly, it's all I know of you, so really I don't know how you are normally besides that. I can't imagine how anyone could possibly think that's okay to say to someone. You guys were trying to get me upset or something. I don't know the motive, but I could care less what you guys think of me or did to me, because I have a lot of things going for me, and a lot worse things could happen to me than a dumb ex and his girlfriend trying to tear me down for no reason. I don't know what you guys don't get, but I said happy birthday and then was attacked. I send those messages to everyone on their birthdays, so why you guys made it more than it was beyond me. I've not once done anything to you or your relationship, when in reality most girls would do anything to destroy the girl who their ex cheated on them with. So the roles should have been reversed. But instead, you're the one who goes out of your way to be rude to me when I never even intervened with your relationship or even talked to him unless he reaches out to me. Except for on his birthday, but that's all I said. I'll never understand that, but I just let you guys rattle off your words because I can take the high road because I'm a good person. I know you don't understand greater things completely right now because you're young and in high school and that's all you know. Trust me, I was there once. But you'll realize there are way more important things in life. Anyway, this is the last time I'm gonna say this, but I have 100% moved on and have zero feelings for him, and I haven't over a year now. So I don't need your guys' texts about my made up feelings for him because they are non-existent. I'm now treated how I deserve to be, and I'm extremely happy. I've now completely cut off all ties from him and will never see or talk to him again, so you guys can move on too and not worry about that. Sorry for the lengthy text, but I hope that clears it all up so we can all move forward with our lives. She said thanks for that and basically went into detail about how toxic their relationship was as well, which I definitely didn't need to know that. But then she said, I so regret everything I said the other day and I wish I could take it all back. All the other things I did to hurt you. I don't really know you, but I'm sure you deserve the apology more than I know. It's funny, she said she knew someone in my sorority, actually like my grandbig she knows. If I ever come down to Nebraska, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna visit there. If you see me, feel free to give me a nice punch in the face because I deserve it. I'm sorry for everything once again and hope someday you find it in your heart to forgive me or at least accept it. I'm really not the person you probably imagine I am. I wish you the best. Well, I just figured I might as well get it out what needed to be said a long time ago. But I also want to mention that I said, I'm not justifying the cheating, but I understand it. I was young and didn't agree at the time with all the choices he made. While most girls will blame the other girl, I always blamed him for most of it. He could have been a man and broke up with me before doing that stuff, but he didn't. You were really young too, and I'm sure you like the attention of an older guy. People make mistakes, and I'm not one to hold a grudge, especially not to someone I don't know. I hope you learned and will never do that to someone else ever again who doesn't have a thick skin like I do, and I'm sure you wouldn't do it again. Oh no, this is hilarious. I said, trust me, the other day after all that went down, I would have loved nothing more than to punch you in the face, but that has settled, and I don't know if I'm naive again, but I do believe you're truly sorry. So I forgive you and do hope you have the strength to move on yourself. Said college is amazing, you'll meet so many great people, and you won't even think about negative people in your past that made you feel like shit, and it definitely helped me get over everything a lot quicker than I thought. And then she said, this helped me a lot, and I want to thank you for talking to me about all of this. So relieved we had this talk. Thanks again, I appreciate it. Okay, hopefully you guys are still with me. I know this is a long video. The message I hope that you are getting from this video is that, like, even if people are so mean to you and you've been treated so badly like I was, you get what you put out in this universe. And at the time, as much as I wanted to put out negativity right back at it, and even though I was not in the wrong at all, I didn't put negativity back in the universe. I didn't put negativity back in their lives. And I got an apology that I would never ever have expected. And I feel like we ended on a really good note. Like, this was the girl that my boyfriend cheated on me with multiple times and ended up dating. I just want you guys to know that, like, being a good person and taking the high road isn't being weak. It's actually being 100 times stronger. And it's so easy to put out bad things into this world and, like, just be a bitch and say awful things to people, especially if you don't know them and especially if they did you wrong and you did nothing wrong. Things can happen. Like, things can turn into events that you just never knew could, and I never would have expected this conversation between us, but I'm so glad it did because it really gave me the kind of closure and, like, good feeling afterward that I never thought I would ever get out of that. And while I haven't talked to him since or even seen him since, I don't know, I still have, like, a good relationship with his family and everything, so, like, there's no hard feelings there, and I honestly have no hard feelings towards him. I wish him all the best. From what I hear from his family, like, he is in a much better place now, which is really, really great to hear. I use that as an example for how to, like, approach situations in the future future, because there are times that, again, like I just want to say mean things back, and it's just so easy to do that. That taught me to take the high road in like every situation in life. It 100% pays off. Always be good and know what you deserve, and if you're in a bad relationship, get out of it and know that there's so many amazing things coming for you, so many amazing people that are going to be surrounding you with love, and one day you will get another partner that is going to treat you how you deserve. And out of that relationship, I also learned what I do and don't want out of a future relationship, and that led me to my future boyfriend, which I'm absolutely in love with. As I promised, I'm going to announce my beauty of the week, and this week it is Kelsey Grace. She blew up my Instagram, and she also always engages with me on Twitter. She's always liking my posts, retweeting them, and just like engaging with me when I ask questions. That is why you are my beauty of the week. You are amazing, Kelsey. Let me know if you like this video by giving it a thumbs up, and also letting me know in the comments below what kind of topics you guys want me to cover in next week's Cozy Sunday. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel if you haven't. You can hit this button right here or hit the button right below if you're on a phone, and turn on my post notifications, that little bell icon, and that way you will not miss a single video from me like this one. But other than that, I hope you guys have a fabulous day, and I will see you guys soon.